Hello. Well, here we are. What's the date? The 17th of March. And there was a blizzard blowing out there. Snow. It's freezing cold. I think everybody must have it in England. And it just goes to show that winter isn't over. Oh, hello, Barbara Hall. Well, I went outside and it was freezing. And everything is frozen. And I thought, actually, while I was looking around for something to bring in, I thought I'd show you this. If you want a real evidence of how good a softpot is in inclement conditions, look at this. Now, these were two plants that I had outside waiting to be made into softpots. And look at the state of them. The ivy has completely failed, and that is just the saddest looking thing. But remember a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago or so now, remember we made that? Well, there it is, been out in all the snow, all the inclement weather, and look at it, bonny, just as lovely as ever. And also, so right, you've got that. That is the difference. That is the difference between a soft pot and a plant in a conventional plastic or terracotta pot. Hello, Alex. Oh, Alex, you're in Serbia. Goodness gracious me. Whoa. Oh, you're at the Kepler conference. Oh, well done, girl. Hello, Alex. And Rick, hello. Bring him on camera. There we go. You see, that's one that I made, probably a month ago. I think you all saw that one. And there it is. It's still there. And it's bonny as ever, isn't it? And that is one that was waiting to be made not long ago. And it's just, the cold's got to it. Hello, Tracy. Oh, I thought you'd be off singing today. Yeah, there we go. See? That's the difference. And when it comes to ivy, this is an ivy that I bought from Morrison's in a plastic pot. It's been outside. And this is one, gosh, that I made ages and ages ago. And as you can see, it's happy as Larry. And that is the difference. This is a soft pot. That's not. Welcome to the Saturday Soft Pot Club. Yes, soft pots. I mean, it's a new garden craft. It's a new form of container gardening. And, I mean, soft pots are made from ladies' tights and stockings. And, well, rather like the ladies who wear them. They're soft, strong, supportive, giving, nurturing. Oh, and kind. So kind. And yes, I mean, sometimes, though, because as women we tend to give out so much, and a lot of the time it's very hard to actually replenish ourselves on an internal level. And I find that soft pots, I mean, apart from being better for the plants, because, I mean, with a soft pot, the roots grow normally. You don't get root spiralling like you do in conventional plant pots or terracotta pots. I mean, when I see a plant in a terracotta pot, or a plant, a plastic one, in boiling hot weather or freezing conditions like this, to me it looks like cruelty. It does. But anyway, I'll bring out some old and some new just to give you an idea. Because I know some people have probably never seen a soft pot. Some people make soft pots. Some people know and have seen them for many, many years. And they know how they grow and they know how good they are for the plant. And remember that one? I made that probably a month or so ago. And I mean, it comes with me when I go to the Women's Institute, and it comes on display, it comes on tour. So yes, and you see how beautiful that is. Happy as Larry. And that's just come in from outdoors. And then, this is one that we made. I did a soft pot day course this week. Hello, Valerie. Hello, Annalise. You made beautiful soft pots. Keep practicing. Stay in touch. I'd love to see how people develop, because everybody makes, once you start making a few soft pots, you get your own style. And I can pick anybody's style out. I can pick who's made what. It's just one of those things. And yes, this is a very happy little hanging. Hello, Katerina. Oh, your winter pansies seem happy in the snow. Well, yes, they will be. But there, that's a lovely, lovely, lovely little hanger. Can you see? Da 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 da. Yeah, I mean, there's winter plants and there's summer plants. And I just love it, you know, that the way the garden changes and the way the soft pot garden changes as well. All the way through, it goes all the way through the year. There's always a plant to make a really lovely plant that's flowering at that time of year, that's doing something interesting. You can always make a soft pot for any gift, for anybody, because they're bespoke. You can make them match your decor, your eye colour, any colour that you want. You can make a soft pot to match. And they're just beautiful. This has come in from outside. I mean, it's very, very wet. But you can see it's not dripping, it's not soggy. And when you pick it up, yeah, you can feel it's really wet. But soft pots are free draining. So they don't, I mean, there are lots of plants out there, they'll all be standing in cold water. And they hate getting their feet wet, you know. Yes, put them in a soft pot, be kind. And anyway, put that one aside, put that one away. Yeah, I love winter time. I love these as well. Remember this? Made this a couple of weeks ago, I think. And it's just coming on lovely. And it's got little feet. It's a little cauldron. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah? And going on. What else have we got? This is one that we made, I made at the, on the day course, because everybody has to make small, medium, large, and then with various variations as well. But this is one, I thought, yes, it's another slightly woolly one, and it's got a nice, interesting neckline there. And it matches, you know, if you wear, you know, if you've got really, you know, if you've got blue eyes and you wear something blue, it just enhances your colouring. Well, it's the same with the soft pot. See that? See that? They match. And when a plant, you enhance a plant's colouring, it just makes them sing. It really does. You can take a simple little plant, turn it into a soft pot, and if you reflect the colouring that's in the plant, suddenly you can see it goes, hello, I'm beautiful, look at me. It does. And they just get better. Soft pots just get better and better with time. This is one that I thought I'd bring in to show you. It was just on my windowsill, so it wasn't too far to go. This is to show you there's many, many different styles and types of soft pot. And this is a classic neckline. And it can be used, you can stretch it open, make it really, really wide if you want to. And it takes, you know, from that you can reuse the soft pot itself. When these are over, I'll take this out and reuse the pot. If I think, oh, I don't know about that, I don't want to bother that, I'd undo the soft pot and reuse the materials inside. So in that sense, because it uses ideally your own stockings and tights and reusable chopped up bits of interesting materials, it just helps with the recycling of things. And eventually, when a soft pot, say, goes into landfill, I mean, soft pots have a great inner life. They really do. Oh, hello, Jill. Oh, good morning to you. Hello, Wills. Hope you're feeling better. Bring them on camera. Yes, bring them on camera. There we are. And you see that's got a lovely stretchy neck. And I can just stretch that open, yank the plants out when they're finished, and use it all again. And so, yeah, soft pots are better for the plants, better for the planet. Hello, Wills. Hope you're feeling better. Oh, Wills, sorry. Different Wills. Sculptor Wills. Wonderful video. Thank you very much. You are a very, very talented man, Will Sculptures. Yes, thank you for sending me that video. That really, wow, opened my eyes. Yes, here we go. Da-da-da-da, bring them closer. There we are. And you see all the shiny, glittery bits. I mean, yes, they're wonderful to decorate. I mean, they really are, actually. I think better for humans as well, because they make you happy when you make them. They really do. I mean, sometimes in this world it can be so difficult, and it takes it takes a bit of doing to keep your pecker up, doesn't it? I think, yes, I can do this. I can do this. I mean, there was a lovely thing actually. Somebody put on Facebook. My friend Helen Wilson. She put a fantastic thing on Facebook. Can she find it? No, she can't. But yes, effectively, it was shine your light out into the world. But I mean, sometimes it's really hard, isn't it, to shine your light when you feel like yourself, you're sitting in darkness. And actually, Softpots just reconnects you on every level. And by working with a living plant, the earth, your own creativity, and you don't have to be an artist. I'm not an artist at all. It's just completely a random thing. When it comes to decoration, it really is. And the only limit really is your imagination as to what you might want to put into it and what sort of shapes you want to give to your soft pot. Because of course the whole thing's flexible. It's not just, what you could put in a soft pot, it's what you could put a soft pot into. What you could wrap a long soft pot, what you could wrap a soft pot round. I mean, once you start getting what a soft pot is, your whole world changes and you enter a whole new dimension. And it's such fun. Right, carrying on. Remember this one? She's been around now for a while, and I sort of rather like her fuzziness. And she's wearing jewellery. Soft pots wear jewellery, feathers, beads, shells, sweet wrappers. It just goes on and on and on. Once you've made 3 or 4 soft pots, you get what I call soft pot eyes. And everything you look at, you think, can I put that in a soft pot? Ooh, could I put a soft pot into it? Can I wrap a soft pot round it? I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And beautiful as they are, they're better for the plant. And that's the thing, is that you want kindness, don't you? And making a soft pot is kindness to the plant, and it's kindness to yourself, because it's giving yourself some time. And I've done all sorts of different, tried different things, meditation and all of that, but I actually find that I'm a doer. I like to do something. And soft pots has a mindfulness to it. Once you start making soft pots, I can teach 30 ladies at Alma House, and they make quite a lot of noise at the beginning, but I tell you, the second they start decorating, you can hear a pin drop. Yeah, and they come out, and you just, having done it, it just gives you a thrill, and it does. It makes you happy. So yeah, soft pots are better for the plant. They're better for. I always keep bringing this one out, but it's nice and dry in here. It was a blizzard, a snow blizzard out there just a few minutes ago. No kidding. And this one was one that you were interested in now. This is called Lithops. Can you see it? And I put it in a bangle. I just made a little plain, simple soft pot with a bangle collar, and then popped it inside the bangle. And it's very happy there. And these are really good for, often if, the elderly often have really heated homes, but things like this are really good. You only give them a little spray of water once a week. Happy as Larry. Get on with it. And they're so interesting. So, yeah, those are lithops. I think you can actually even order them online. Right. This one, I find in winter I tend to finish up making lots of sort of hairy looking ones, woolly ones. A lot of them have woolly jumpers. And you know something, in weather like today, I think they're very glad of them, I do. But I just thought I'd bring this one in because you'll remember this. I think it was a heavy-duty stocking that I did, and I wasn't happy with it. So I did something different, and that is the result, wasn't it? And isn't it just coming on? just lovely. There we go, bringing them on camera. You see that? Very, very, very woolly. Woolly, woolly. I was just actually, I'll bring back on camera. This is the soft pot I made a few weeks ago, wasn't it? Heavy duty tights, and I made it and just bunged it outside. There we go. This is the equivalent, been outside in these conditions, and it's all a bit shriveled and miserable looking. But what is even more dynamic, to show you, remember me making that, made that quite a long time ago now, it's been outside. This is an ivy I bought. I was going to use it, and it's been outside, and look at what's happened to it. Completely collapsed from the cold. Whereas a soft pot, they're not collapsed. I mean, soft pots, you know how builders wear tights in winter? Well, soft pots just the same, really. You know, well, they do. They wear tights under their trousers in winter to give them extra thermal protection. And soft pots, because they're made from ladies' tights and stockings with materials in between, they're thermally protected, super thermally protected, and they don't heat up or freeze the same way that a conventional plant pot like that would. And that's what you get in a plastic pot. But when you've got them in a soft pot, ho, 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 they're happy. And they're just like children. They like to be tucked up, warm and comfortable. And so, yeah, I just thought I'd bring that back in again because some people have joined me. And thank you very much, by the way, everyone, for joining me. And finally, last but not least, this old chestnut, which I always bring out. This is to show you can find an old bit of junk and then make a soft pot to go around it. And this has been with me for 6 years. Many people remember it. It was at the... it was with me in York. It was one of the first things I made in York. And, yeah, there we go. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I mean, the bird is just a little bit that I stuck on. But that soft pot, it's a little treasure. And it's so easy to do it. And if you've got an eye for sort of bits of sculpture, bits of this and that and the other, you just incorporate it into your soft pot. And you make something really, really special. Like that. I just love it. Mwah. Yes, you can kiss your soft pots. You find that involuntarily you want to kiss your soft pot. It's just one of those things. I mean, it's very hard to have a relationship with a plant in a plastic or terracotta pot, really. But when you make a soft pot, it's like your plant's got a body and it feels really lovely. I suggest, please, 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 order a kit. Go to my website, order a kit and make a soft pot. My website's softpots.com, and it is just the best thing you can possibly do. If you want to buff up your shine, your inner shine, so that you can shine your light, the easiest and quickest way I know how is to actually make a soft pot, because it changes you on many, many levels, just as you're changing the plant. It's transformation for the plant, and it's also transformation for you on another level as well. I've invented lots and lots of things before I invented soft pots. Better bucket, better hoe, better ironing board, blah, 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 blah. But nothing touched me like soft pots. I invented soft pots 15 years ago. I've been doing it for 6 years quite solidly now. And yes, it just gets better. And I just want to share the love of it, because many people have made soft pots now, and they will attest just how magical they are. And they are. They're really, really quite magical. And you can get them bigger. They get bigger, bigger, bigger. This one's Bertha. Brought her out the other week, but I know Nell was saying about jade plants. I mean, this has been in its pot for many, many years. This is the one that comes on tour with me. Every summer she comes out, and she sulks when she has to come in for in the autumn because she likes it outside. But yes, that's Bertha, and she's quite a big pot. And then I thought I'd just show you this one. This one has been outside for a long time. This was in York with me, and it's grown its own moss. I didn't put that on. and it just gets on with it. It's very, very, very lovely. And ooh, I'll show you this one. And when it comes to bonsai, it's funny, I was invited to the RHS Bonsai Society to give a talk. I'm here at Harlow Car. And anyway, I was giving my talk and I said, oh yes, it's really easy to make bonsai because when the roots come through, you just take your hand and rub the roots off. And they're not stupid. You know, the tree goes, oop, and it bonsais itself. And you know, as one, I heard them all go, whoo, and they grabbed their instruments and dragged them closer to them. They did not like what I had to say about, about how easy it was to make bonsai. And anyway, needless to say, I never got invited back. But yes, this is a bonsai. I call them bonsets actually because they're liberated bonsai. It was a sad case in home base about 15 years ago. I put it in a soft pot, and you know something? It's still not trying to get out. You know, the roots are still not trying to come out. And there, that's an example of a moss pot. Doesn't it give you such a lift to see what you're on for? Oh, hello, Jewel. Hello, Jewel. I still got your peace lily here, you know. You know the one that you made? You nominated? There we go. And that is a moss pot. And that is the best sort of covering, really, for any plant is moss, and especially a soft pot. They're just wonderful. And you don't have to keep redecorating them. Because, I mean, some soft pots, you know, once you put them decorating, you decorate them, you put them outside. Some of them, you know, they're like people, you know, some look more lived in than others, you know, given a few years standing outside wearing their best dress. So, yes, you know, you can just redress them. I mean, that's the lovely thing about soft pots, is that if they look a bit tired or you change your decor, you just change the cover, you know, their dress. A bit like Barbie dolls to a certain extent. You can just change their dress to suit you. But yes, this is a beautiful, beautiful, one of my favourite soft pots, and one of my earliest. The thing is, people say, oh, why aren't you selling these things? But actually, sometimes you get attached, you know. You get attached to soft pots very, very quickly. And unless you're making them and you know who you're making them for and they're going to that person, by the time you've finished up, they're like pets. You know, you absolutely love them. And I thought I'd bring this one out again, this old glom pot. I call them glom pots because they're sort of, well, it's a bit hard to see, but they're sort of shell-shaped and they just glom onto the wall. They're flat at the back and they just hang on any little hook. Hello, Kith. Yes, there we are. That's a glom pot. Da 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 da. And that's a little hairy Mary one. And it sort of matches the heather. And there is a little badger in the top. I don't know if you can see the badger. There he is. Oh, there he is. Yeah. And, you know, that can hang on the front of your door. It can hang on a wall. And the wonderful thing, you know, about, I mean, Kith, I know that you're moving a lot. Soft pots are perfect, you know, if you have to move a lot. If you want to grow your vegetables and everything wants to go with you, put them in soft pots. Because soft pots are fat bottom girls, you know. They squish up together, they travel really well. I mean, I would have been completely heartbroken if, you know, when the shop in Stonegate in York closed. And then when the buffaloes, the Royal Antediluvian Order of the Buffaloes, my garden was there, and then that got sold. So, you know, change happens. But I would have been devastated if I'd put all that garden into the ground and then had to leave it. With soft pots, you just take it all with you. And you can grow vegetables up your wall. You can grow carrots on your washing line. I've done it. Oh, hello, Anne. Oh, thank you for joining me. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, everybody, thank you very much for joining me. It's much appreciated. And yeah, there we go. Da 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 da. So today, I thought maybe what I do is just do a little pansy. It would be nice to see a bit of flower, wouldn't it? I mean, spring is coming. I have to admit, I'm in no hurry. At the moment, I've got just so many different projects. I don't know quite which one to do first. But hopefully I can wind them all up before the season starts, because then, when it's Softpot season, yes, the Softpot garden goes to the Great Yorkshire Show. If you're going to be there, I'll be outside the Women's Institute. Nice big display there. And it'll be travelling. It'll be coming round, maybe to an area near you. Hey, yeah. Derbyshire, definitely. Right, shall we continue? Now, when it comes to making a soft pot, as long as they're made right on the inside, it really doesn't matter what you do on the outside in terms of decoration or anything like that. I move that closer. Yes, I think so. There. Is that better? Yeah. Right. And the first thing you need is a leg of stocking. Now, have a feel. Oh, there's one already made. Yes. Here I am. Got my ring, magic ring. Now, the ring comes with a kit. The kit, by the way, is well worth getting. It'll make 15 soft pots, easy peasy. You will need more stockings, but you have all the gubbins that you need to make a good few soft pots. You could have a soft pot party with my £20 kit. I suppose I ought to show you, really, shouldn't I? It does help, doesn't it, when you know what it is that you're going to get. Hold on a moment. This is one, and there we go. Have a look. That's got all the colours. All the colours in it. It's got a little colour booklet that gives you how to make a simple soft pot. And then behind that is a bag, and it's got the ring, it's got stockings, it's got petticoat material, it's got glittery bits, it's got sequins, wee bits, and interesting bits of sort of things to sort of spur you on to sort of look for these sort of different types of materials. And so that is a lot of fun in a bag there. And it also comes with 5 scoops of Softpot Gold in there. And 5 scoops, well, it's 1 scoop to 3 scoops of compost, isn't it? So you can work it out. It makes loads and loads and loads. So yeah, that's your £20 kit. And I do encourage you to buy one. It's very rare you see something really new in crafts and really new in gardening. And this is it. And it's more fun in a bag than anything else I can think of. Really. Yep. Actually, I better put that somewhere else because I'm going to want to get to my sequins. You stay there. Right, here we go, here we go, here we go. Got my ring, got my leg of stocking. I'm just going to drop it through, see, like that. Now, I don't know if anybody's going to be joining me. Is anyone going to be joining me? I'm doing it on the iPad and it's so far away I can't really see. I can't see, so I have to keep coming round. Ada, hello. I can see you, Ada. Yeah, yeah. Oh, hello, Gary. Hello. Right, here we go, here we go. 1 ring, 1 stocking, some gravel. Where's that? Any sort of measure, any sort of scoop, as long as it's pretty much the same. Going to drop that in. Just put in a little bit. Gosh, that's wash gravel. And you see the sand that's coming through it? It's well worth getting wash gravel or washing whatever gravel or stones that you finish up using. You only need a little bit of gravel. It's just to add a little bit of weight, gravitas to your soft pot. because soft pots themselves are really, really light. And, you know, if I'm building a big hanging basket, something like that, I won't use any gravel. But generally, a bit of gravel is good. It helps with the bounce as well, which you'll see when I'm coming up, the bounce. Right. Now, when it comes to the compost that you need, any compost that's right for the plant is fine. There are different types of compost, unfortunately. Some of them have just got logs in them. So once you've found a compost that you like, that doesn't have lots of logs in it or lumps, because you want to avoid the lumps, stick with it. One of the things I would say though is, as I said, soft pots don't like sand, and believe it or not, John Innes is just full of sand, and it makes a very, very heavy pot if you use it, because sand's heavy. So I avoid John Innes. I just use any other sort of compost that's right for the plant. And right, so there we are. That's why compost is right for the plant. And then this is the exciting bit. This is Softpot Gold. Softpot Gold. And what it is, it's a natural mineral. It comes from volcanoes and they blow it up like popcorn. And it is not, it's beautiful. I mean, it is just so beautiful. And inside a soft pot, what it does is it stops the compaction that occurs when you use a leg of stocking. Because a stocking, you know, a good leg of stocking, its job is to constrict. And if you just put compost into a leg of stocking, it won't work. It just constricts the compost down to the point where you can't get water in or out, and the whole thing just dies, and it sort of collapses. It's not right. What you need is Softpot Gold, because it's beautiful inside a plain soft pot. Absolutely beautiful, I'll show you. But what it does is it stops that compaction, it absorbs the water and the nutrients, and it releases it slowly. So that, a bit like porridge, I suppose, that's why when you make a soft pot, it feels so lovely. And they behave so well. When you water them, they just absorb the water and hold it. They're not drippy or soggy, and they're just much, much kinder. And interestingly enough, Softpot Gold is also pH neutral. So you can use it with ericaceous plants or regular plants. With regular compost. So there we go, blah blah blah. I'm going to take one of those and pop them into my bucket, which has got 3 scoops of regular compost. I'm going to mix it up, and it's going to be really nice looking. By the time we've finished, it should look like a sort of a nice sort of scrummy sort of cake mix. There we go. See? Like that. Lovely. Haha. Oh, Anna! I wish I was a soft pot. Yes. I wish I was a soft pot too. Maybe one day, you never know. You never know. Still working on the shrine idea. The talking shrine. But that's another project. Right, what am I doing? Oh, I know. I'm making a soft pot. Right, here we go. We're going to put the ring, the stocking through the ring, and just put the edge of the stocking over. There we go, like that. And never try and fill it when it's like that, on a table, all crunched up. Let gravity do the work. Just hang your stocking over the top of the pot, and then, with any luck, the compost will just drop in. I mean, a lot of the time you get small, medium, large, extra large stockings. If you look at the base of your plant, what sort of size pot it's already in, a lot of the time you know what sort of size, it will tell you what sort of size soft pot it's going to make in the end. And sometimes it really, really helps to have, you know, a selection, small, medium and large. But if you want to make really, really tiny soft pots, use knee highs. That's the easiest way, but they're very, very, very fiddly. Now, here I am. I'm doing the bounce. I've filled up this leg of stocking, and I'm just going to drop it. And what's happening is it's all dropping to the bottom in a nice loose pile, which is exactly what I want. Yes, yes, yes. And it does bring out your inner child. What can I say? But see that? That's a naked soft pot. Now, if you put that outside, that will look like stone. It'll go dark and look like stone. And it's beautiful. A naked soft pot is not something to be dismissed. It's always the first one that I teach, just to remind people how beautiful they are. And if you put them outside, they'll grow their own moss, they'll grow their own patina. And if you feel inspired at a later date, you can go and put another top dress on. You can put another dress on. It's lovely. I mean, people say, oh, you know, couldn't I use perlite instead of soft pot gold? I would say no, because perlite actually, it's too regular, too white, too regular, and practically when you start watering your pot, you'll find that the perlite just moves up to the surface, and you get the after effect. You know, in 2 weeks' time, it looks like, you know, the aftermath of a festival. Don't do it. Don't use it. Use the soft pot gold. I make it available on my website. It goes a long, long way, and then you know you won't finish up doing something that you absolutely love and it doesn't work. Make a soft pot right, and it'll be with you for years and years and years, years and years. Right, here we go. What have I done? I've done the bounce. I've got my thumbs gone in here, done the donut, and by doing the donut, I'm going around and squishing any lumps that I might find. And if I find some lumps that I can't squish, I just put my hand in and yank them out. Lumps affects the drainage, and you don't want that. And there we go. I reckon even Harrod's compost has probably got some in it. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk it down. But when you find one that you really like, that comes fairly lump-less, I think I use clover at the moment. I think it's clover something or other. That seems to be the favourite at the moment. They do seem to change these composts, don't they? I mean, you know, you go there for years and you get the same thing, and then suddenly it's all changed. Right, what am I going to do? Let's have a look. Now, got a little plant here. Let's have a go at one of these. There we go. Come on out. This is going to make a pretty little ditty. And that's all you need, you know. I mean, to make somebody happy and to make yourself happy, all you need is one tiny little plant that gives you a bit of a thrill. And that one, yes, I like its little face. Here we go. I'm going to stretch it open. And then, however I open that neck, I'm just going to drop that in and bring it up. Now, it's sprung a bit of a leak there. But that's okay. Right. If you have a well, I'll just do this and then you'll see. Taking my thumb, putting it on its shoulder, going to bring up the compost around the plant, just up to where its neck is. Just bring up the compost and tuck it in. Now, sometimes if you've done the bounce and it's been on a hard surface or something like that, you can finish up getting holes and ladders. And, you know, soft pots are just very forgiving. They really are. All you need to do is take a slice of thyme. Oh, let's have a bit of that one. I might use that long one. What's on there? Just take a tube of thyme. And then just whack it round the side. And there you are, you've got your perfect bandage. Easy peasy. Nothing to worry about. There we are. I'm putting it around the side and trying to keep it a little bit away from the underside. I always try and keep the underside of a soft pot as clear as possible because that's where it's going to take up its moisture and stuff like that. Right, okay, there we are. One bandage applied. If it's on the outside of your pot and you've got a nick or a hole or a ladder, just make more. Just make the most of it. I mean, soft pots are totally liberating, you know. They're very, very non-prescriptive. As long as they're made right on the inside, a bit like people, as long as they're made right on the inside, you can't go wrong. Just go for it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little snick off the end of this tie, and I'm just going to make a tie. I always tend to make a simple soft pot, but I'm going to see if I can show you something that's a little bit different, but still within the remit of the simple soft pot. Because I do teach, and there'll be downloadable courses soon. I promise there will, I promise. They won't be super professional, but they will give you the information that you want to know. And then you can make soft pots and you can do it at home and you don't have to come to Henshaws and you don't have to put up with me. So, not at least if you don't want to. But, yes, that's the plan. Is that hopefully by next week there'll be at least one downloadable video. And my apologies to all those lovely girls and ladies who have been writing to me going, well, where's these videos then? I've given up on trying to be professional. I'm just going to give it to you, just going to do it the way this is. But just down to the action. Like, down to the action now. Right, I've made a tie around the neck. Now that tie is very useful because I can put the petticoat round and it just hooks through that tie. And when you make the tie, it needs to be tight enough to so you can feel the plant, but not so tight that you can't get your finger through. See? There. Right, that's it. When you're making a soft pot, you're making a fairy that's going to the ball. And even if you can't find your inner fairy to start with, don't worry about it because your inner fairy will find you by the time you've finished making a soft pot. And what I'm going to do is that all ball gowns and dresses are all beautiful ones start with a petticoat. And that's what I want. I want a petticoat. Just as my base colour. Ooh, let's have a bit of that. That looks good. I can't remember. Yeah, let's go for that. Got a bit of organza here. Now, one of the important things that you should know about making soft pots is that you want to stay away from anything that's a natural material. Silk, felt, cotton, linen, sacking, anything like that will rot when it's in between the layers and it goes slimy and horrible, and you just don't want to do it. Always stick to using synthetic materials. There's no shortage of them. I found a few exceptions to that rule. Colour grass is about the only one really. Sometimes I can use raffia, but again only in a special sort of way. You can't just put raffia straight onto a naked soft pot and think that it's going to be alright, because it won't. So here we go. I've got a little petticoat, and at that level I could add more stuff as well. Let's have a look. I at the moment find anything with holes, textures, colours, it's just fantastic. This sort of stuff I'm quite keen on, and I finish up ripping up scarves and all sorts of different bits of material. As I said, you know, once you made a few soft pots, you get what I call soft pot eyes, and everything you look at, you think, oh, can I put that in a soft pot? At one point, I had no sleeves left on many of my shirts because I chopped the sleeves off. It's worth being organised with a soft pot, with soft pots. It really is, because you can finish up with a lot of stuff if you're not careful. Right, there we are, that's just a little loose tie. And then what I'm going to do, this is the stuff that I was saying, this is colour grass, and it's the only thing that, oh hello Elizabeth Parker, I do apologise, I just had to refund it, all of it. I couldn't part do it, so I just refunded the whole thing. And we'll have to start again. I do apologise. It's my website, you see. Right, back to this. This is the magic colour. Colours are so important, aren't they, in our lives? And they affect us on so many levels. And this is one of the reasons I reckon that Softpots can be really, really therapeutic. I mean, you can tell a lot by the colours that people are using. And I never allow people to use black. I make them use colours. Right, here we go. This is colour grass. And you see all those colours there? Those are available. And that's what makes the difference. And you can blend it, you can twist it, make it into ropey type things. So many things that you can do with it. And it's just lovely, lovely. And you don't need a lot of it. But it's well worth getting, because everything else that you might want to put on your soft pot will attach to that. Either tuck it in, it just acts as a grip for everything else. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take, I don't need all of that at all, just going to take a little bit of that, flag it round there as a base petticoat. There we are. And then see if I can just tie that over its head a little bit. Give it a pom-pom. When you tie it over the head, you have to make sure that it's loose enough that you can undo it again. It's dreadful. Tights are really strong, you know. And I mean, once you make a knot, it can be really difficult to get them out again. So yeah, just need a little bit of that, don't need all a little bit of that. And ooh, let's have a little bit of green. Yeah, just a little bit of green. And you, in the kit, you get all the different colours. And as you can see, you can use it really sparingly, and it'll go a long, long way. You know, it's really good to have a soft pot with children coming up as well. It's a lovely idea to have a little soft pot party with them. Get them making soft pots. Mushrooms. I made mushrooms last week, but yes, it's all up there. You can have a look. Keep them occupied, keep them happy, keep them learning. I mean, one of the wonderful things, you know, about soft pots is sometimes in schools, when they make a soft pot, sometimes that's the first connection that they ever have to a living plant. It's a completely foreign thing to them. And soft pots actually work extremely well as an introduction to plants, because by the time they're finished, they love their soft pot, they're connected to it, they want to know how to look after it. And because they're so easy to look after, it's very rewarding, because they can last for years and years and years, especially if you just use an ivy, something like that, something that isn't too temperamental or demanding. For kids, it's just great, just great. And because it's so non-prescriptive, everything these days in schools is just so nailed down, isn't it? And this, you can just, it's just a free-for-all, really. It's whatever ever takes your fancy in any way. I put in bits of material, I put in bits of colour grass. Now I can add bits of, well, when I say wool, I really mean acrylic wools, things like that, like those sort of things as well. See, because it's sort of, you know, it's got texture, and it's just really, really. And so, yeah, anything that you like. I mean, if it is wool, if it is real wool, if it's been outside and it's been outside for 6 months, it'll go, you know, slightly mouldy looking. But personally, I call that patina, and I really like it. But if you don't like it, soft pots are washable. Just take a damp cloth, wash it off. if you've got indoor pots that have gone a bit dull because it's dusty, they've collected dust, you can just take a damp cloth, wipe them off, and ta-da! They're all bright and shiny again. Yeah, yeah. Right, here we go. Let's have a look. Let's see what else we've got. That's quite interesting. I quite like that. Da-da-da. You find these sort of bits and ends of things in second-hand shops. I know knitting's quite a craze these days again. So actually, there's some really interesting sort of end rolls of bits of wool. And again, you can even take jumpers. If you see a jumper in a jumble sale or whatever, and you really like the material, you know, it's glittery or whatever, undo the jumper and just unstitch it all, because then you've got this really kinky sort of wool to use. Oh, I just love it, absolutely love it. Right, now I could go on and on and on. Absolutely, but I suppose I better stop and do something else. Right, let's have a look. Have I got any bangles? I took everything with me today, the other day, when I went to Henshaw's and we did a whole day course, and my whole studio has to shift, and actually some things have just not come back, but that's okay. Right, what I'm going to do, is that one? No, what's in there? No, no bangles. I think my bangle box is, I apologise, I was going to put a bangle on, but my bangle box is, I think it's probably just still downstairs. So what I'm going to do, now this wire is really good. When I was younger and more enthusiastic about these sort of things, I used to strip electrical wire right down to the copper and then rewrap it. But it's hard work. Oh look, Vincent Stevenson, hello, hello. Looking forward to the online course being available. Oh, good, good. I mean, it's going to be, I will be more direct, much more direct than I am in this program. You won't have to wade through loads of this. I promise I'll try and get straight to the point. Right, this stuff though is really good. You can order it online from my shop, and it just makes life so much easier. I mean, I'm for joy and ease. That's my motto, joy and ease. And yeah, you can order this stuff. It's quite expensive. It's about £7 or so a roll, but you get a lot of it. And it just makes it easy to make something really, really pretty. If you've got kids, be a little bit careful, because the end is still wire, and the end can flick around a bit. So it's worth wearing, you know, little protective glasses or something like that. Ooh, let's have a look. Let's do that. Yeah, I'm just going to make a little hoop, wrap it round. There's always more than one way to achieve something. A lot of the time you think, ooh, you know, I want to do that, but I haven't got this. In that case, then you look around and, you know, you find something, another way of doing it. It really does actually challenge you to think about, I know, what different ways of doing things. It's very, very stimulating. And I mean, apart from schools as well, I mean, in nursing homes, they already love plants. Those ladies and gentlemen in there already love plants. And you know something, you can really brighten people's lives by taking Softpots into nursing homes. I mean, some, you know, there's different types of nursing homes, but I haven't come across one where it doesn't make a very big difference, a very positive difference. And you don't get dirty with a Softpot, making a Softpot. You don't get a bad back with digging. They can do this sitting at a table, enjoying themselves. Right, made my little ring there. Going to pop that on, just over the top. Right, the Grandane. Ooh, what else? Sequins. Ta-da! it's getting harder and harder to find the right sort of sequins. Unfortunately, Poundland or World or whichever it was, I used to get them all from there, and absolutely gorgeous they were. They were the best. But these days, despite my begging and pleading them for the last 2 years, they've just discontinued the good ones. And so you're on your own now. I don't know where to go to get the really, really good sequins in the right sort of quantities. But here we are. Put sequins on. They'll drop through. It's all right. Everything, over time, the colour grass will fade. And all these things that might have dropped through will all come out and shine. Everything is visible in the end. So I'm going to walk my fingers down. I'm going to stretch it out. I'm going to take it down. Ooh, I tell you what I'm going to do. I said I was going to do something a little bit different. I don't know whether this is going to work. I'm just going to cut that now, that tie. Just release it. Take it down. Stretch it out. Take it down. Going to pick this up. Now this makes a slightly wider sort of soft pot. Pretty pretty. Going to take a tie, just make a little tie around it. Just tie it there, give it a bit of definition. Right. When you pick it up, it's really tempting to put your hand and shove all this stuff underneath, but don't do it, don't do it. There we go. See, I've got that neckline there, and it's a wider pot than I might normally show you. I'm sort of slightly cheating on the simple soft pot. I only show you a simple soft pot sort of thing, but that's okay. That's okay. Here we go. See its bum there? Going to grab its bum. Don't let go. You want to keep that as clear as possible. With your other hand, bring it down, bring it down. Stretch it. Everything that's hanging down below the pot, just shove it back up. And it's really quite an unceremonious thing. I mean, there's no point being myopic with a soft pot because it can all change. And you have to trust it, you know, and you have to keep pushing the boundaries, otherwise you can fish up, you know, just doing the same thing. So always, always push the boundaries, see what else can I do here? Now, I'm pulling that down, having a look. There we are. There we go. I think I need to pull that down a little bit. You can move things around before you close it all down, or you know, you can still move things around when on the outside as well. Nice, flexible. Right, here we go. Da 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 da. Going to do, and the next thing is called a twizzle. It's for our benefit. Yeah, it is for our benefit, but it keeps everything really bright and shiny, and it's over quickly. I'm going to turn it upside down. Going to grab it by its bum, quite close. I don't want to get it too dizzy. Keep that out of the way because it always tries to get involved. And then twizzle, 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 twizzle. This is the magic bit, you know, because there was all that chaos and you think, gosh, what's going on here? And then suddenly, ba-boom, it all becomes order and beautiful. And psychologically, you know, all the chaos, it just becomes beautiful. There we go, there we go. Right, I'm just going to come around here and just tie a knot, close to its bum, and then once I've cut the umbilical cord, my soft pot is born. And at this point, it will take any shape that I want to give it. I can make it square, round. I can flatten it so it's it's more horseshoe shaped. I can make it into a little amphora shape. Ooh, I like that. Aww, aww, yes, yes. Absolutely beautiful. and it's got this really delicate little collar. Aww. Mm. You see, this is what happens. It's an involuntary thing. You kiss it. You kiss your Softpot when you make one. Right, there we go. What do you think? It's a pretty little job. There we go. Cutting the tie was a clever idea. I must have shown you that in the when we were doing it. There we are. Lovely, lovely. One of those things, there's so much to learn with Softpots. On the one hand, it's incredibly simple. But, you know, I spent 15 years sort of doing this, and I still wake up in the middle of the night and think, oh, I haven't done that yet. It just never ends. So, yes, there we are. One pretty little Softpot. Oh, happy St. Patrick's Day. And when it comes to watering it, I'll just stand it in a bowl. It'll absorb the water and the nutrients, and then if it's indoors, I'll put it on a little dish. Well, that's not so little, but yes, I find those are really good. Little thin tint, you know, lids like that. You don't need a big deep dish for a Softpot. Nope. Or even bangles. I've got to move all my bangles as well, haven't I? But yeah, even bangles like that. And if you think, oh, it might have a bit of water or something, just put a little tissue in there, just to protect it. But, see? Ta-da! I can put them on candlesticks, even with a pointy end. They go, ooh, but they're okay. Yeah. So, there we go. Now, I don't know if anybody's actually made a Softpot along with me today, whether everyone's followed this. But, yes. Thank you very much for joining me. Got no idea what I'll be doing next week, as usual. But until then, thank you for joining me today. And it's still winter time and the sun's shining. There was a blizzard out here just an hour ago. So, yeah, everything changes and that's good. Lots of love to you all. See you next week, I hope. Thank you. Bye for now.